day 136 of 365 days of meditation. Um, Sunday today, so not a super early morning practice, but it was the first thing I did when I got up. Practiced for about 55 minutes, I think. It was kind of ironic because my wife accidentally called me while I was in the middle of the practice from the living room. And yeah, today it didn't bother me at all. I didn't care. I thought it was kind of funny. So change from yesterday. Yeah, other than that, not a lot. It was maybe a bit more emotionally charged today, which is the first time in a while. Just wrapped up reading the book, The Anatomy of Anxiety, or listening to the audiobook, and yeah, I think it sort of inspired me to kind of dig back in a little bit. Also, listening to Lewis Howes talk about the last couple of years for him in an interview on the Aubrey Marcus podcast. Between those two things, just sort of inspired me to do a little bit of digging again. Asking the open-ended questions in meditation. Whenever I brush up against something uncomfortable, whenever I'm feeling sort of anxious in meditation, inquiring why, and then seeing where that leads me, and then, just asking questions until I sort of get to the root of the matter. Yeah, that was today's practice, and it was good. One of the things that I did take away, are key takeaways from the Anatomy of Anxiety book, which I think is a great book. It's just the idea of what Dr. Ellen Vora calls true anxiety versus false anxiety. And it's the idea that false anxiety is what she labels false, or deems false anxiety, is the anxiety that can be corrected through just simple lifestyle changes to things like our diet, or our exercise habits, or our sleep habits, things like that, where the body will feel dysregulated if you're not sleeping enough, or if you're on your phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or if you don't have any type of schedule around your work and you're just working all the time, or if you're jacked up on coffee all the time and then drinking alcohol to go to bed at night, or if you're not getting any exercise ever, or you're not getting morning light exposure to kickstart that circadian rhythm. Like, all the simple things that you can do to kind of help your body, or provide your body what it needs to be regulated. If you're not doing those things, you will start to feel dysregulated and anxious, and that's what she's calling false anxiety. Just the simple lifestyle changes that you can make to eliminate that. And then once you've sort of eliminated those things, what remains in the psyche, memory, sort of maybe traumatic experiences or deeply emotional experiences, dysfunctional ways of thinking or behaving, that's what you would call sort of the root cause of sort of real anxiety, or true anxiety. I think she calls it, not real anxiety, but true anxiety. I mean, they're both anxiety. You both feel anxious, both in the case of false and true anxiety, but one of them can be, quite easily rectified just with some basic lifestyle changes, whereas the other one is going to take maybe a bit more of an emotional and psychological deep dive in order to address the root of the problem, or find the root of the problem. And it seems that doing that self-interrogation of sorts, or asking those open-ended questions in meditation, will lead to some form of maybe the root cause of true anxiety. And then adopting the sort of reparenting techniques, or the Buddhist practice of revisiting your younger self, and kind of reconciling things with that younger person, letting them know that they're safe, that you're okay, that you're you made it through. Those types of techniques can be really useful in addressing true anxiety. In addition to forms of other forms of sort of somatic therapies and cognitive behavioral therapies, and even psychedelic therapies. So, yeah, interesting read. If you have the experience with anxiety or you're feeling anxious, you might pick that book up and find it useful to have a read through it. But yeah, that was it. Nothing else really to report. In closing, if you're struggling at all with your mental health, talk to somebody, talk to somebody, talk to somebody. Do not suffer in silence. And also, if you are struggling with your mental health, simply the act of talking to somebody, maybe not to necessarily get some direct help from that individual, just the social aspect of having that conversation can do wonders for your mental health. The connecting with another person and having sort of a deep, meaningful conversation. Human beings, we're social creatures, and meaningful connection with other people has shown to greatly improve our mental health and can really help as a form of treatment or a practice to help mitigate anxiety and depression. So, yeah. Again, don't suffer in silence. Talk to somebody, talk to somebody, talk to somebody. If you are feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling overly anxious, depressed, unable to cope with your mental emotional state, or just unsure what's going on in your own head, it can be the first step you take towards a brand new life. That's it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.